And today, 2 Kansas girls are safe while their father is behind bars, accused of abducting them, setting off a multi-state Amber Alert.
Meanwhile, investigators working to figure out whether the father is involved in the murder of his 2 sons, just 11 and 14 years old. Both found dead in the family's home in Leavenworth.
Now let's go over the timeline of Saturday's events. Law enforcement says this all began when one of those children in the Jackson family did not show up for a soccer game.
And that's when a family member discovered the 2 boys' bodies in that home.
Then at 12:35 p.m., the Kansas Highway Patrol made an unrelated car stop on the father's car. That was on Highway 169 near the Kansas-Oklahoma border. Both 7-year-old Nora Jackson and 3-year-old Avon Jackson were inside the car with their dad. Less than an hour later, Leavenworth County Sheriff's deputies discovered the crime scene where the 2 boys were found murdered. It wasn't until just after 3 that an Amber Alert was issued for those 2 girls.
And finally, just before 7 p.m., the KBI reported Oklahoma State troopers found the father and the girls nearly 500 miles away in Eric, Oklahoma. That's where Jackson was detained and the girls were recovered.
Those in the community surely feeling a mix of emotions today as they try and wrap their minds around what happened.
Our reporter Nick Starling spent the day in Leavenworth. So Nick, bring us up to speed. What's the latest here?
As you can imagine, it's a tough time for those that know this family as they mourn the loss of those 2 young boys and are yet grateful about the recovery of those 2 girls safe with their family tonight. A somber scene outside Donny Jackson's house in Leavenworth, where police accuse him of killing his 2 sons, ages 14 and 12, on Saturday. Authorities say he then took his 2 daughters, ages 3 and 7, which resulted in a multi-state Amber Alert. Jackson and the girls were eventually located safe near the Oklahoma-Texas border. This unthinkable act shocking this community. A family placed this bouquet of flowers and a stuffed giraffe on the mailbox at the home where the crime occurred. We reached out to the family and friends of those impacted by this tragedy, but they are too shaken up to speak. Neighbors told us they're heartbroken and say the family did have some problems. District court records we obtained from Leavenworth County show Donald Jackson Jr. filed for divorce from the kids' mom, Tara Jackson, in August of last year. Their next hearing is scheduled for November 12th. The undersheriff here explained how difficult a loss like this is to this community.
In a case like this, of course, it's difficult for a family, for a community, and for law enforcement as well. Anytime a child's involved in a crime, it amps up the feelings in regards to all of our deputies or family members or parents themselves. So when something like this transpires, it's difficult on the first responders, the family, and the community at large.
To help Tara Jackson, a friend of the family started a GoFundMe page, which has raised more than $14,000 by Sunday afternoon. The comments from those who donated, praying for all the family during this time, and you and your family are in our prayers. Right now, it's unclear when Donny Jackson will be extradited from Oklahoma back here to Leavenworth, but the undersheriff tells me it could take a few days for this case to work itself out through the justice system. Reporting live in Leavenworth, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
Thanks for the update, Nick.
And we will be sure to bring you any updates on air or online at KSHB.com on this developing story.